all so much for being out here on this beautiful late summer day to celebrate SummerWorks. This has been truly remarkable every year when we come together to celebrate what we've achieved and then set bigger goals for next year as well. And it's just been a real joy to watch SummerWorks flourish now over 11 seasons, 11 years. I'm just really grateful to everybody that's been involved to do all the work to keep this vital program going, keep making it stronger every year, despite really some unique and persistent challenges of COVID-19, both last year and this year. And like today, SummerWorks sprang from another really deeply challenging time for our community. I took the office in 2011. We were still in the grips of a global recession, unlike anything that we had seen before. That recession lasted a long time, about 4 or 5 years, versus the one we're just coming out of right now. And back then, we still felt the same way. It wasn't going to be good enough to just recover from the Great Recession. We wanted to create momentum that would exceed our pre-recession economy and create long-needed equity for all of our residents, no matter their zip code, so that everybody could benefit and come out of the recession even stronger. And so SummerWorks was one of the tools that we said could really help us improve and roll out of that decade that much stronger. So we had a choice to make in 2011. The federal government had been providing resources, money to local governments for summer job programs, but they cut it off in 2011. So we decided in our first year of administration we had to keep going, because I think everybody probably remembers, or think back if you would, to that first summer job that you had. And you're like, I am going to get to make my own money. And you didn't have to ask mom or dad for a handout. And that's what this program was all about, providing kids with that unique opportunity. And I thought it was just too important just to say, well, the federal government stopped giving us money, so too bad. So we said we're going to raise some private funds to help get us going here. And my first call was to the late David Jones Sr., one of the founders of Humana. It was an easy sale. He just said, how much? And then off and running we went there from that very first year, where we placed 200 young people in summer jobs. And, of course, we've grown to thousands and thousands now every year. So that was a difficult time. Unemployment was around 10%. There was a lot of uncertainty of the Great Recession, but we thought it was a good start for 200 young people. Now, the bottom line is, and, you know, we are the home of Muhammad Ali, and he says it ain't bragging if it's true, so I'm going to brag a little bit here. We have made startling progress as a community with our summer jobs program. This year, even with all the challenges of COVID-19, more than 3,000 young people were employed at our champion employers. That's a big deal. So we're proud here to celebrate today that many of these young people, the employers, staff, funders, we're going to celebrate all the folks that made this possible. And the good news is that 3,000 Louisvillians were able to strengthen their skills and prospects, connections for a rewarding career, and to get a little cash in their pocket as well. So these are the type of programs that we see dividends for years and years in our community. Now, this is the second year that we've had to navigate the challenges of COVID-19 and its effects. Last season, most cities around the country canceled their SummerWorks program, but we said, nope, we got to adapt and improvise and overcome, and we went forward with a very safe and productive season last year. We didn't have any COVID illnesses last year, and I'm surprised relative to SummerWorks. I'm happy to report that this season we had similar great results with no COVID-related illness from SummerWorks. So that obviously is critical, because we want safety to be at the foremost of what we're doing here. Now, private sector involvement in SummerWorks really bounced back this season in a major way, with more than 100 private companies hiring through SummerWorks in 2021. Companies like Humana, GE Appliances, Kentucky Kingdom, UPS, Thornton's, and Kroger continue to lead the way and provide even more support each and every year. We just don't kind of push a repeat button on SummerWorks. We try to get better every year, so we improve and we innovate. I'm really proud of our SummerWorks team, Chris Locke and his team, Michael Gritton, Youth Build. We're always trying to get better. This season is an example of that. More than 700 SummerWorks participants completed soft skills training through our new online platform. So that's a record for this. So this is what we heard from a lot of our employers. It's like a lot of our young folks coming in, they don't know some of the basics. It's like you got to show up every day on time. It helps a lot if you say, yes, sir, and no, ma'am. Just some of the basic things that unfortunately some kids aren't being taught. So some of our soft skills training really helps with that. Next year we'll have over 1,000 people participate in that, I'm sure. We also expanded some of our unique, what we call work and learn experiences. One of them is called Tech Boss. Another one is the Louisville Science Pathways. About 80 young people participated in both of those, get hands-on STEM experience building mobile apps and doing scientific research. We're going to hear a little bit more about that. Along with opportunities like the Academies of Louisville and Evolve 502, so we're integrating JCPS even more integrally into SummerWorks. It's now we have a system of talent development going basically from when you start high school all the way through getting a PhD, all the way through filling the jobs in our community. So this has taken quite some time to develop, but now we are amongst the best in the country at what we're doing with our talent development system. JCPS has been incredible. We're going to be hearing from Marty Polio here soon, our great superintendent. But when they came up with the concept of the Academies of Louisville, which is tying our workforce needs with exposure of JCPS kids to those workforce needs and mentorships and internships, that was a great step for the community. But then Dr. Polio and team said, not enough. We have to become a SummerWorks employer as well, because think about all the opportunities that they had. So JCPS showed their leadership once again this year, and we'll be hearing more about that in a second. Our nonprofits in the community, of course, are a big part of this as well. 36 nonprofit and public agencies hired SummerWorks youth this season, including Change Today, Change Tomorrow, the Louisville Central Community Center, Olmsted Parks Conservancy, the Louisville Botanical Gardens, and the Food Literacy Project, which obviously we're at their beautiful home here today. The Food Literacy Project has been awesome. They've been with us almost from the very beginning of SummerWorks, and it's been really a lot of fun to visit over the years and see some of our young people, Carol, that really didn't know what they were getting into, and then they become, conservation champions for the city, local food, healthy food champions for the city. So Carol Gunderson, the executive director of the Food Literacy Project, has been a tremendous leader and source of inspiration for the city for years, and one example is with what she does with our SummerWorks program. So please welcome Carol.
Thank you, Mayor Fisher. And thanks to all of you for coming today, and welcome to Iroquois Urban Farm. I'm Carol Gunderson, or Carol Cauliflower as I'm known on the farm, director of the Food Literacy Project. It's really wonderful to be surrounded by so many people who care about young people in our community and who demonstrate that commitment by supporting youth development and workforce development. Though this urban farm probably looks a lot different from many of the other places where local youth have their formative work experiences, we feel fortunate to be able to engage the minds, bodies, taste buds, and the power of young people in our community to make our food system a little bit more resilient. The Food Literacy Project's mission is about youth transforming their community through food, farming, and the land. Here at Iroquois Farm, the former site of Iroquois Homes, we are working with young people to transform this formerly vacant lot into a vibrant hub for urban agriculture, fresh food access and education, youth employment, leadership development, community engagement, and cultural exchange. This work requires strong partnerships with folks like all of you, with institutions like JCPS, and of course with SummerWorks. The Food Literacy Project is grateful to have been a SummerWorks employer for 10 years now, a partnership that has created over 90 summer jobs for young people through our Youth Community Agriculture Program, or YCAP. SummerWorks has made it possible for young people to grow food on this land, advancing food justice, health, and equity in our community while deepening their personal connections to fresh food, gaining practical job experience and leadership skills, and connecting with business owners, policymakers, and social entrepreneurs, all while earning a paycheck. Throughout the pandemic, YCAP teens have grown over 3,000 pounds of vegetables and distributed them to neighbors through partners including the community ministries, Ag in the City, Feed the West, the Taylor Boulevard Save-A-Lot, and the Shively Farmers Market. In a moment, we're going to hear from Daniel Abreu, who did this demanding work this summer. But first, I want to invite all of you to get involved with the Food Literacy Project if you haven't already. You can make a contribution next Friday on Give for Good Louisville Day. You can join us for Morning on the Farm on Saturday, October 2nd. You can get your hands dirty on this farm this weekend on our second Saturday volunteer work day. And you can find us online or join our mailing list to stay connected. And there is a clipboard that will circulate. Rebecca is holding it in the air, so you can sign up. And I definitely invite you as well to mingle today with the staff and board members who are here. Can you all just raise your hands? So say hello. We'd love to show you around the farm. There's a whole bunch of stuff growing out there. So please, ask these people more about our work. And now for Daniel. Daniel Banana, I don't know if I already said his farm name, is a graduate of Seneca High School and spent the summer out in the fields here planting, pulling weeds, harvesting, and leading a participatory action research project, the results of which are here today in a zine the crew created that looks like this. We have hard copies and also a QR code if you want to look it up online. So Daniel, thanks for being here. Take it away.
Hello, my name is Daniel. Am I close enough? All right, my name is Daniel, and I was an employee here at Iroquois Urban Farm for the summer session of 2021. I did everything you'd expect to do on a farm, planting, weeding, and my favorite part was washing the vegetables and getting them ready to be donated and sold. And I think that's the most important part of this farm, is that we donate our vegetables to help out our community.
All right, thank you, Daniel, very much. Now, the Academies of Louisville, I mentioned them before, JCPS, they've been a really important part of SummerWorks since they were launched. I mentioned this season, JCPS took it to a whole nother level, hiring about 60 young people as leadership counselors at their summer backpack league sites. So they're developing, obviously, leadership skills, and these young folks within the school system on the sectors where jobs are most in demand of the community. So we're getting all kinds of benefits from this taking place at the same time. So again, I want to thank Dr. Polio, who really stepped up once again for SummerWorks, and I'm sure we'll do even more next year. So Dr. Marty Polo.
All right, Daniel Banana, come on back up here. We didn't give you enough. Come on. Daniel Banana, and that's your name here is Daniel Banana here at work. So I take it you all have the... I can?
Yes.
What should I be?
What's your favorite vegetable?
Like Marty Mushroom?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. So Daniel here is one of our 600 JCPS students who was in SummerWorks this year and did a great job. Tell him where you graduated from.
I graduated from Seneca High School.
Seneca High School. And we'd sell him short. He's got the official badge on. So talk about what you're doing now.
Well, now I'm doing software development as an intern for Yum.
All right. Great job, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
I wanted to make sure that we recognized his success and what the Academies of Louisville has done for that young man, and also SummerWorks has done for him. And I think that's a great example of the 600 students in JCPS that were a part of SummerWorks this year. And, it's been a time when our kids have had to been very resilient. It's been a very difficult time, obviously, in the community, in the world at large, but also in the world of education, as the vast majority of Daniel's senior year, for instance, was done virtually. And right now we are in this very difficult period, too, where we once again are trying to stay in-person school and make sure that we get a full year of in-person school, but obviously we still have the challenges of COVID-19. Excuse me. So, but knowing that, first of all, with the Academies of Louisville, the fantastic programs that are going on in school, where kids are getting meaningful opportunities for not only skill development, getting a certification, but also engagement in school. And that's the fantastic part of the Academies of Louisville. But I think this is why SummerWorks has been such a good partner with JCPS and the Academies of Louisville, is it truly engages kids in these summer programs, these summer jobs. And it's authentic learning opportunities. I use that word a lot, authentic. But, I mean, when you have a young man, a young woman who has a job in something that they're passionate about, that they learn in school, that is when you truly have an authentic learning opportunity. And I'm so proud that we've had so many of our kids be a part of this. We want it to continue to grow. Also proud to say this was the first year JCPS was actually one of the employers for SummerWorks. So JCPS, we had 58 young people. We hired 58 in our Backpack League summer program, which was our summer learning opportunities. We had nearly 6,000 young people participate in those learning opportunities at JCPS sites or at community centers, about 6 times more than we've ever done in the summer. But we also thought, why don't we hire some of our high school kids to come in and help mentor younger kids, teach them leadership skills and things like that. So, you know, young people like Timberly Harlan, 2020 graduate of the Academy at Shawnee, who worked at First Gethsemane Community Center. Raquela Bell, 2021 Butler grad, who enhanced her IT and data science skills through Tech Boss. And then a current student, Kennedy Morgan, a junior at Ballard High School, who worked at the University of Louisville through the Louisville Science Pathways program. And Atherton junior Josiah Finley worked at Highland Park Community Center. So those are just a few examples of the great partnership. I want to thank all of those on the SummerWorks team who have been really good partners with JCPS. And once we get out of this COVID-19, let's hope next summer, boy, we're really going to set records when it comes to SummerWorks. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Polio. We heard Daniel's story, but there's also a young lady that was not able to make it here today named Aisha Diaye, who was part of the Louisville Science Pathways project. And I just want to describe a little bit what she did. This is part of SummerWorks that we created. I think it was Ted Smith's idea initially with U of L to take some of our high school students that were interested in science and partner them up with a physician or a scientist in the community so that they could see what that was all about. And so it's a really interesting way, especially when we take folks usually that they don't have like a connection, you know, that their family member's not a physician or a scientist, so they don't really know how to get into that world. But Aisha had an incredible opportunity this summer to work alongside some professional scientists and researchers. She thought she wanted to get into medicine. This summer really convinced her to do that, and now she's on her pathway to go to medical school, and her dream is to become a surgeon. So this is just another example of what SummerWorks can all do. It's just each one of these stories when you go through young person is really pretty magical. You know, Daniel going from graduating a senior in high school through a very difficult year now to being a coder at Yum, and Yum seeing that in one of our students and helping them along. He'll have an extraordinary career in IT. That's what this is all about. And so we're really just excited about SummerWorks. That's why more and more employers grow as well. And oftentimes people say in the community, you know, there's this going on, there's that going on, you know, what can I do to help? And you can always say to somebody, hire somebody for SummerWorks, okay? And mentor them and give them a pathway, and it really helps our community. So again, thanks to the entire JCPS team for being such an integral part of this. I'd also like to acknowledge the people that make this happen financially. We got a lot of great funders for SummerWorks. Some of them are with us here today. I want to acknowledge Mason Rummel, the CEO of the James Graham Brown Foundation. Mason, you guys have been stepping up each and every time. Thank you so much. The J.P. Morgan Chase Foundation, you'll be hearing from them in a second. Paul Diaz, retired CEO of Kindred Healthcare, has also mentored and coached our internal team our SummerWorks team, Chris and Michael and others, how to scale up over the years. So Paul's been a great mentor, but also he and his wife Vicki have been great contributors as well to the SummerWorks program. Mary Gwen Wheeler and David Jones Jr., the Ginkgo Foundation. We'll acknowledge Henry Heiser. Thank you, Henry, for all the wonderful things you do in our community. The Crawley Foundation, and then all the other funders of our SummerWorks program for their generous support. We're happy to have Nick Foles with us today. Nick is with J.P. Morgan Chase. They, like the James Graham Brown Foundation, have been year over year just kind of great supporters of SummerWorks. Nick, I hope you're enthralled to hear just these wonderful success stories that you and J.P. Morgan Chase have really helped us here with. So please welcome Nick Foles.
Thank you, Mayor Fisher. Hey, one more round of applause for Daniel, because this is what it's all about back here. Congratulations, man. So, yes, my name is Nick Foles. I'm the area manager for J.P. Morgan Chase Small Business Banking, and I'm very happy to represent all of our employees here throughout the state. For over 150 years, J.P. Morgan Chase has been supporting the local economy, local businesses, and residents. Time and time again, we demonstrate the strength that comes from joining forces to make a deeper impact. We come together as residents, business owners, community leaders, and neighbors to march towards a common goal: keep our city growing and thriving for the future. J.P. Morgan Chase is incredibly committed to creating a future that works for everyone. Mayor Fisher and SummerWorks are critical pieces to that. We know that talent is distributed equally, but opportunity is not. We invest in communities and partners like Kentuckiana to ensure no one is left behind. Building skilled workforce is critical for the future of our city, state, and nation. But too many students lack the resources, training, and the support they need to be successful in life. That's why we're here today. Businesses have a responsibility to step up and solve pressing challenges facing our communities and neighborhoods. Our community is stronger together, and we've seen this in action time and time again. Summer jobs provide students with meaningful learning, work-based experience, and serve not only as a source of income, but a chance to build professional networks and allow students to contribute to their families and their communities. Now is the time. Many of our region's students are at risk of being left behind, and the COVID-19 pandemic has brought many of these inequities to the surface. We must take this moment and act with urgency. We must all come together and rally around this cause and create a brighter road ahead for Louisville students. Students are the workforce of tomorrow, and I know you all share the same sentiment with me. We owe it to them to provide support, resources, and access they need for a prosperous future. Thank you again for your dedication to our region. I'm going to turn it over to Chris Locke, SummerWorks Program Director.
Thanks, Nick. Just before you do that, I want to emphasize, too, obviously, your all's money, if you're taxpayers of Louisville, supports this program as well. I want to thank our Metro Council representatives, Kevin Triplett and Nicole George, for being with us here today and being such champions of the program. Appreciate you guys. Everybody understands and sees the benefits of that, so it's wonderful to see it growing each and every year. Now, I would like to acknowledge the team at Kentuckiana Works and Youth Build Louisville. Big thank you to these folks. If they'd follow most of their peers around the country, they would have just said, look, the COVID's here, we can't do this anymore. Bag it. You know, they said, no, we got to figure it out. And not just last year, but this year as well. So they have been very resilient. They've been very resourceful. Last year also, we got a nice big chunk of money at the very last time that they were able to deploy to technology folks that were interested in technology. So they've just done a great job. And Chris Locke has been leading our SummerWorks program for several years now and has really shown tremendous leadership and creativity, hard work. Chris, I want to say thank you to you, and wrap it up for us here, man. Got the SummerWorks T-shirt on and everything here today.
Good afternoon. One, it's a privilege to be batting cleanup. But with all of what you already heard, I just have to hit a single. But I think most of my remarks are really mainly about thank yous. One, I want to just begin by thanking the mayor. Obviously, people think that's obvious because he's kind of the visionary initially with this 11 years ago. But it still has been instrumental in having his support, at least for the 4 summers I've been here, but the whole entire time of the program's existence. In addition to that, I want to thank the Metro Council for co-signing with the importance of SummerWorks, doubling our budget for next year, which we're very excited about. And I also want to say thank you to my boss, Michael Gritton, for allowing me to take his spot, because really that's him up here. And when he tells a story about SummerWorks from being around since its beginning with the mayor, he does a hell of a job in that. I just want to say also a shout out to our operating partner, which is Youth Build. As the mayor and others have mentioned, over the last 2 years, 18 months, it's been really a heck of a thing to navigate behind the scenes. And as all of us know, with any operation, and certainly one the size of SummerWorks as well, it's a lot of people that are responsible for its success. Youth Build has been a heck of an operator, but all of you in the community as well. We want to thank our private funders, who absolutely the mayor has already thanked, but I just want to double down on that. Without you, these efforts aren't possible. For me, again, it's the privilege of seeing the outcomes for these young people. I know firsthand about the value of exposure, being able to get connected to individuals who can change your life, who can serve as references for you as you strike out, and then just learning the culture of the workplace and all the different sites that we have. I want to thank our nonprofit community. We have a strong network of nonprofits that sign up to be host sites every year. Obviously here at the host with food literacy, 10 years, wonderful to work with. Our young people who come back from the experiences at food literacy are always excited. So with that said, I want to say we're very excited about next year. Going into next year, you heard our numbers from this year, the growth of our private employers, part of that facilitated by the fact that we've set up a new technology platform, having 100 employers signed up and working more intentionally and in an integrated way with JCPS Academies is going to take us to another level. And so we're excited about that. We're excited about these work and learn opportunities. You heard a lot about Tech Balls today, and also the Louisville Science Project. And two of the people on the ground, Claire and James, who are sitting there, if they throw their hands up, I think it's important to mention them, the work they've done. Exceptional work working with our young people, exposing them, helping them be connected to these research labs. So we're excited about next year, 2022, all the efforts that are coming forward. JCPS coming on as an employer this year was huge for us, and being able to work with Dr. Polio and his whole team around the summer learning efforts that I think he's mentioned that he's committed to for a couple of more years. We hope we can even do a bigger job, serve a larger number of young people in 2022 in partnership with JCPS. So again, thank all of you for your support for the program, and I can guarantee you the young people who aren't out here right now, these experiences and opportunities you're helping provide are going to change their lives. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate your leadership. Michael, thank you. You've been a great thought leader on this as well. So hopefully everybody can see that programs like this come together just through basically a lot of hard work. And, it's amazing what happens when you put one foot in front of each other every day and you keep getting a little bit better every day. And it's just the number, the tens of thousands of kids this has helped in our community is really, there's no value that you can measure to that. So what's exciting, as Chris said, is this is going to keep getting bigger and better with more and more commitments from more and more people each and every year. And this is how you build a great city. So thanks everybody for coming out. Thanks for everybody for participating and making this such a success. There is more to come. Thanks very much.